Welcome to Edinboro Television. I'm Sierra Holman.
And I'm Taylor Buffington, and this is your weekly news update.
Students at universities see the online discussion boards that are used daily on their portals, just like the students at Edinboro University see on their D2L portals. ETV's Leslie Schaefer sat down with a professor who just published more of her work in the International Journal of Scientific Research and Education and discussed how the online learning environment gives a helping hand to students.
Does academic level affect student perceptions of threaded discussions and online learning? Dr. Linda Best, professor of early childhood and reading at Edinboro University, answered that very question in her third article about student perceptions in the online learning environment.
I was curious about, do students differ in their perceptions of using online threaded discussions or class discussions in relation to freshmen, sophomore, graduate students, doctoral students?
After recognizing her students' perceptions to the online learning environment, Bess wanted to find out more and collect her findings to show other researchers.
I was finding that the undergraduate students were posting a great deal to the online class discussions. They were very lengthy in their response, a lot of quality, depth in their response. They seemed to be very eager.
Dr. Daniel Shelley, a professor at Robert Morris University, worked with Best on the article, and Best explains how their research prior to the article brought a grant to Edinboro.
But in 1999, 2000 to 2004, Dr. Shelley and I were co-directors of a Preparing Tomorrow's Teachers to Use Technology grant. It was designed as a research grant. It was a $1.7 million grant that was awarded to the university. And as co-directors, it was our job to help faculty learn and embrace to use the tools of technology.
With the new generation becoming involved more with technology, Bess teased on her new piece of research.
I'm moving for my new research. It's actually already in the proposal stages. I have a manuscript that I actually is titled for a whole series on online discussions. For online learners. And we're going to be looking at the learning community. So how do you embrace the online forums as a form of community?
Reporting for ETV, I'm Leslie Schaefer.
Are you a student who has the next great idea for a business? Pennsylvania college students have the opportunity to compete in state business competition held by the State System Business Plan Competition Committee. This competition is for a chance for students to show off their business ideas. Drew Patrick spoke with Dr. Melissa Gibson about this event and the benefits of competing.
So the business plan is something that's going to be judged by outside evaluators to see which student or team of students has the best idea that they would like to turn into a business. And the business has to be a business that would be located in the state of Pennsylvania. The top prize is $10,000, and then there are lower level prizes, but the $10,000 could be used for developing the business, for seed money, for marketing, or for carrying out the business plan. And we've had some success at Edinboro with our entries being very competitive, and they're not just for students who are business majors, it's also for students who come from any major. I think this is a great opportunity for any student to see the business plan process and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. It also is a way for students to build their resume. So even if they compete but they don't make it into the final round, it's still something that they can learn from and have to round out their resume.
For full details of the requirements, and contact Dr. Timothy Few or Dr. Melissa Gibson. The deadline to register is November 20th.
October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual campaign to bring awareness toward breast cancer and educate people about the importance of early detection. On October 19th, the Black Student Union Association held their annual Powder Puff football game to educate students about the disease. Donations were also collected as an effort to raise funds for the cause. After the game, students had the chance to write the name of a loved one of a current patient or survivor of breast cancer on a balloon and then release it in honor of them. For more information about breast cancer awareness and prevention, go to nationalbreastcancer.org.
Last Saturday night, Edinboro University remembered former student Harley Bolt through a night of remembrance and a tribute. Edinboro television reporter Sierra Smith has more on the story.
Saturday night, Edinboro University remembered former student Harley Bolt. Harley just completed her sophomore year when she was diagnosed with leukemia.
Well, Harley had a great, huge personality, and we wanted to throw an event that was just as big of a personality as she was. So we wanted to make it big and bold, and so we got the Leukemia Society involved. We've been planning for about 2 months now. As you can maybe see in the background, it's very bright and colorful, just like she was. We teamed up with Edinboro University's Panhellenic Council, and they worked very quickly to donate, and we got donations from the community, and we've raised so far, without even it starting, over $700.
Sox Harrison Stadium was filled with students, faculty, friends, and family who wore a combination of Harley's favorite outfits, flannel and tie-dye. The field was filled with banners of some of her favorite quotes featuring one of her favorites, Hakuna Matata, which in Swahili means no worries. Ashley Harris and Annie Dayage were both close friends of Harley while here at school and organized this event to have one last celebration to remember her.
Harley was one of my great friends here on campus. Like I said, I met her freshman year, and we stayed friends throughout, even without her commuting and stuff. And I just want people to know that she lit up a room. She was one of the best friends, had the great advice, and she can make anybody smile. And I honestly know that she's up there smiling ear to ear with all of this, and I know I make her proud.
The event included snacks, yard games, memorabilia that featured halos for Harley, and a Chinese auction. The night ended with a balloon release where people wrote messages on the balloons and did a final walk around the track in honor of Harley. All of the proceeds raised at this event were donated to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Reporting for Edinboro Television, I'm Sierra Smith.
On Wednesday, October 21st, the Communication Studies Department held a Careers in Marketing Communication panel. The panel consisted of 6 Edinboro University alumni who currently work in marketing communications, ranging from nonprofit charities to Fortune 500 companies. During the discussion, students asked the panelists questions about the importance of internships, the necessity of a master's degree, and what the most effective channels of communications are. Dr. Golden awarded panelist Tara Musilinas with the Most Distinguished Alumni Award. At the end of the panel, students were given the opportunity to ask additional questions and network. Be on the lookout for future panel discussions coming soon.
The Academic Success Center Fall Workshop Series held another one of its seminars at the Baron Fornes Library last week.
Nothing else would matter. So if you don't happen to get this, then the world falls apart. So try not to think of things that you can prevent.
Focused on
all or
helping
nothing, this win-win
students understand their emotional intelligence, introduce strategies for dealing with pressures of academic relationships with other students and faculty, and just into the freedom of living on your own. ETV reporter Brady West was able to sit down with Dr. Howard and discuss how having good emotional intelligence can benefit students now and after graduation.
Well, emotional intelligence is something that college students can learn while they're here to enhance it, but emotional intelligence also is very beneficial after graduation. So as I talked about a little bit during the presentation, what research has found is that people who have really high emotional intelligence, who have a strong foundation of emotional intelligence, they just do well. They're just much more successful people in terms of being able to acquire internships and report having more happy and successful lives. And it really makes sense because when you truly have an understanding of yourself, but then you're able to understand others, so you don't have that misinterpretation of information, there's not a lot of confusion. Whereas I think a lot of things occur because people just don't understand each other. And emotional intelligence really helps kind of break through that. The most important thing to remember when it comes to emotional intelligence is first seek to understand yourself. And that exercise I think really does work. It really is understanding why you feel certain ways, why you think a certain way, and then the actions, how all of those three things intersect.
The next seminar in the fall workshop series will be on Wednesday, October 28th, where students can learn the importance of setting and working towards structured and realistic goals. All workshops are held in room 201 on the second floor of the Baron Fornes Library.
The locked room phenomenon is coming to Edinboro as a part of the Department of History, Anthropology, and World Languages Archaeology Month. The locked room event, The Mummy's Curse, will lock teams of 3 willing student participants into a room where they will have to use their problem-solving skills to try to escape. The event will be held this Tuesday through Thursday in the Mass Lounge in Hendricks Hall. Students who wish to sign up may contact Dr. Stacy Dunn at sdunn@edinboro.edu.
RAKE, which stands for Random Acts of Kindness in Edinboro, is an annual event put on by Campus Life. On Saturday, October 25th, various clubs and organizations volunteered to rake the leaves of the residents in the Edinboro community. 2 shifts were offered the students. The first was 9 to 11:30, and the second was 12:30 to 3. Typically, elderly get the priority, and then students knock on doors to ask people if they would like their lawns raked. To participate in rake in the future, you can contact the Community Outreach Center at 814-732-1720.
October 25th, students and the general public gathered together at Diebold Center for the Performing Arts to enjoy Edinboro Laugh Ride's performing company's last Macbeth show. Macbeth is a play written by Shakespeare, a well-known playwright and poet. The show was directed by Jeff List and Rob Connick. Laugh Riot provides performances and educational opportunities to students on campus. If you are interested in auditioning for upcoming shows or want to know what the next shows will be, you can head over to laughrioterie.com to see a full schedule of upcoming shows and get information on auditions.
Coming up in the national news, civil game of dice that turns deadly at State University. Stay tuned.
One is dead and 3 others wounded after a simple game of dice turned tragic at a Tennessee State University late last week. The last of the wounded was released from the hospital as police are still searching for the suspected shooter. The shooting took place in a courtyard after an argument broke out over a dice game. The suspect shot 19-year-old Cameron Selman, who was not a student of the university. 3 bypassers were shot in the process. Police do not know whether the suspect is a member of the school. This comes after an off-campus shooting that took place 3 weeks before the incident.
Caleb gives you the recent updates of Hurricane Patricia that has rocked Mexico and the Gulf Coast. He also has your weekly weather forecast for this week. Keep watching.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Caleb Richardson, and this is your Finding Scott's weather report. Our national map here, we are experiencing a lot more lower pressure systems due to Hurricane Patricia over the past few days. Down south, we're experiencing, like I said, more flash floods due to the hurricane. The northwestern Pennsylvania area, we are having more of high pressure systems. That's why we're going to have a lot more sunny weather. Still a little chilly, but a little mild as far as temperature goes. So that's what we're having. Like I said, we're having low pressure systems down south, and we're having high pressure systems further into the northern Pennsylvania region. So if we can pull up the 7-day forecast, please. All right, so starting Monday, we are having a 56 degrees will be the high that day, with 37 with being the low. Tuesday, 58 degrees with 46 being the low, with a partly sunny with a chance of showers. Wednesday, October 28th, we are going to be experiencing a high of 65 with a low of 48 with a chance of showers on Wednesday. Thursday, high of 49, low of 41 with cloudy with showers. Friday, we're having a high of 49 with a low of 35 with, again, showers. Saturday, we're experiencing around the same thing with showers during the day, 54 being the high and 46 with being the low. And Sunday, We are going to be having 58 degrees with a low of 51 with, again, showers. So the football game is on Saturday versus Slippery Rock. So it's going to be 54 degrees with showers again. We just can't get out of that shower. So kickoff is at noon. So hopefully the Fighting Scots will get their first win of the season. I'm looking forward to that game. So weather shouldn't be too bad. Bring a jacket, bring an umbrella, and it should be a good game. My name is Caleb Richardson III, and this has been your Fighting Scots Weather Report.
Welcome to this week's Fighting Scots Sports Report. I am Tyler Trumbauer. On Saturday, the cross-country teams took the short trip to Slippery Rock for the 2015 PSAC Cross Country Championships. The women came in defending team champs and looked to take one of these back to Edinboro. The women's race was first at Cooper's Lake Campground. Freshman Ida Narboval pulled away from the pack after a few Ks in the 6K course, a very hilly course this was at Cooper's Lake Campground. As she went through the castle there and took the individual crown. Emma Sullivan was the next Fighting Scot to cross the finish line, taking 16th in the women's race. Now to the men's race, which followed at 11 a.m. In this one, rain began to fall during the race, but most of the pack finished after it got underway, and that didn't hinder senior Elliot Martinkevich, who got out to a nice quick start. He led at one point, fell to third, but took second behind Logan Mountain of Lock Haven. However, the top storyline was the ladies going back-to-back with their championships. The teams now begin prepping for the Atlantic Region Championships, which are on November 7th and are hosted by Lock Haven. The women's volleyball team had a pair of home matches this past weekend, hosting California University of Pennsylvania and Seton Hill. Edinboro continued its hot play, moving to 25-2 overall and 14-1 in the PSAC with 2 more wins. Both were 3-1 triumphs against Cal and Seton Hill. However, in both matches, the opponents got out to a 1-0 lead in the match, with the Fighting Scots tearing off 3 straight wins to win those matches. The ladies hit the road for a pair of games this week. They visit IUP on Friday and Clarion on Saturday. The women's soccer team also had a pair of home matches this past week. The ladies split their matches this week, losing to Slippery Rock 1-0 on Wednesday night before bouncing back with a 2-1 win on Senior Day this past Saturday at Sox Harrison Stadium. Alex Brown and Jansen Hartman netted the 2 scores for the Scots in the win on Saturday. The squad wraps up its 2015 regular season this week, visiting IUP on Tuesday and Mansfield on Saturday. If they qualify for the PSAC playoffs, they would play on November 3rd. The football team hosted Mercyhurst on Thursday for its annual Fighting Scots Fighting Cancer game. Edinboro was hunting for its first win of 2015, and it looked good out of the gate in this Thursday night matchup. Following a Hurst 3-and-out, Mitch Thomas took this punt to the house, 47 yards, making it 7-0 in favor of Edinboro just minutes into the game. Its first lead since week 2 as well. Things looked even better when Josh Kibbe got that interception after a batted Hurst pass, which set up Corey Bell right here for his 2-yard rushing touchdown, the first rushing touchdown for a non-quarterback for Edinboro this season. However, all of that just disappeared. Mercyhurst rattled off 17 unanswered points to finish the first half. Started with that pass from Emmerich to Jaquan Williams. The Lakers followed it up with an Emmerich scramble for a touchdown here to make it 14-all. And then Dylan Condis tacked on right before the first half with a 24-yard field goal to make it 17-14 for the Mercyhurst Laker as Condis puts it through the uprights. However, down 3 in the second half, Scott Browning said he liked his chances at halftime. Down 3, Jake Sisson has a scramble of his own and takes a lead 21-17. Borough fighting back in this one. But then all of that, Mercyhurst had other ideas, scoring 21 unanswered after that, continuing on, hopefully, as that would have supposed to continued, but it doesn't. So they end up winning 38-28 in that one. Alex Caratelli with a 76-yard pass afterwards, which we hopefully, potentially, we're supposed to see. The team hosts Slippery Rock on Saturday at noon for its 2015 home finale, which is also Senior Day. Also, the swim teams competed in the Westminster Relays on Friday night. The women won the women's competition, with the Borough men finishing second in the men's team race. The teams host Allegheny College on November 13th in their next action. That's all for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ETV Sports to stay up to date on all the latest Borough athletic happenings.
The General McLean High School Wellness Club will be hosting the 2nd annual Zombie Run on October 31st. The 2 and a half-mile run will begin at 10 o'clock on Halloween morning and will trail the high school's cross-country course. The cost for the run is $2 for students, $5 for adults, and $10 for families. T-shirts will also be sold at $15 per shirt, and pre-registration is encouraged. The registration forms can be found at the middle school or high school or online at generalmcclain.org.
Well, that's all the news we have for you this week. Be sure to check out edinboronow.com for all things Edinboro. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.